Morning students, welcome back to the geometry session. As you all know, we have started with the third lesson, circle. In the previous session, we have learned about the arc of a circle, and today we are going to see theorem based on arc of a circle. Now before moving on to the theorem, let's first take a quick revision of the previous session. Now here I have drawn one circle with center C. Secant K is intersecting the circle in two distinct points, point A and point B. So due to this secant, the circle is getting divided into two parts. Yes? So can you remember the definition of the arc which we have seen in the previous session? Secant divides a circle in two parts. Each part together with the points common to the circle is called as an arc. Now due to this secant K, the circle is getting divided into two arcs. One arc is arc AYB and the other arc is arc AXB. Now here the secant is not passing through the center. In that case, the arc on the side of the center is called as an major arc, and the arc which is on the other side of the center is called a minor arc. In this figure, arc AYB is a major arc and arc AXB is a minor arc. Now the name of the arc has to be written with the 3 points. But in some cases where there is no confusion about the major and minor arc, there you can write the name of the arc as arc AB. So let's see the case where the secant is passing through the center of a circle. Now what will happen if the secant passes through the center of a circle? Then each arc so formed is a semicircle. So in this figure, arc PRQ and arc PSQ are the semicircular arcs. And we all know that the measure of a semicircular arc is that of the semicircle, that is 180 degree, and the measure of a complete circle is 360 degree. I hope you all are remembering all these things. Now then we have seen that we can divide the circle with the help of central angle also, and this central angle divides the circle in minor arc and major arc. If you know the measure of central angle, you can find the measure of minor arc, and if you know the measure of minor arc, you can find the measure of major arc. Now let's see how to find it. Measure of a minor arc is equal to the measure of its corresponding central angle, and measure of a major arc is equal to 360 degree minus measure of corresponding minor arc. These two formulae we have seen in the previous session also, so you have to remember this. Then we have learned about the congruence of arc, and here we have seen that the two arcs are congruent only if their measures and radii are equal. These both conditions should be fulfilled, then only we can see that the two arcs are congruent. What are the two conditions? Their measures and their radii should be equal. Here arc DE and arc GF are congruent, and it is written in the form of symbol as arc DE is congruent to arc GF. Then we have seen the property of sum of measures of arcs. Here also we have seen that you can add the measure of two arcs and you can find the measure of bigger arc. For example, here if you consider major arc ABC plus major arc CDE, that is equal to measure of ACE. That means If you have only one point, common point for these two arcs, then you can add these two arcs and you can find the bigger arc. Now let's see the theorem which states that the chords corresponding to congruent arcs of a circle or congruent circles are congruent. Now what is given to us in this theorem? The two congruent arcs are given to us. Now these arcs can be of one circle or can be of two congruent circles. Then we have to prove that the corresponding chords of these congruent arcs are also congruent. So let's see the figure. Here I have drawn one circle with center B, and arc APC and arc EQD, these two arcs are given as congruent arcs, and we have to prove that the corresponding chords. Now which are the corresponding chords here? Chord AC and chord DE. These two chords are also congruent. Now let's first write the given part. In the circle with center B, arc APC is congruent to arc DQE. What you have to prove is chord AC is congruent to chord DE. To prove this, we have to do some construction. What we will do? We will join segment BA, segment BC, segment BE and segment BD. So this is our construction. So let's see the proof. Here we are having two triangles. In triangle ABC and triangle DBE, what we can write? Side AB is congruent to side DB. Side BC is congruent to side BE. There, what reason you will write here? Radii of the same circle. Then angle ABC is congruent to angle DBE. Now why these two angles are congruent? Because they are the corresponding central angles. So if the arcs are congruent, then their corresponding central angles will be also congruent. The reason you will write as measures of corresponding arcs. What we got here? Side AB is congruent to side BD. Side BC is congruent to side BE, and angle B is congruent to angle ABC is congruent to angle DBE. That means if these three components are congruent, we can write the triangle ABC is congruent to triangle DBE. By which test? Yes, by side angle side test. Now you know that if the two triangles are congruent, then the remaining corresponding parts of these two triangles are also congruent. So we can write here chord AC is congruent to chord DE. What reason you will write here? Corresponding sides of congruent triangles. Hence we have proved the theorem. Now let's start with the next theorem, which states that corresponding arcs of congruent chords of a circle or congruent circles are congruent. Now in this theorem, what is given to us? That the two congruent chords of a circle. Now these congruent chords can be of one circle or can be of two congruent circles. If these chords are congruent, then the corresponding arcs are also congruent. So let's start with the given part. Chord PQ is congruent to chord RS. This is the given part. And what you have to prove is arc PMQ is congruent to arc RNS. Now if you remember the previous theorem, in that theorem what is given to us? The two arcs are congruent, that is given to us, and we have to prove that the corresponding chords are congruent. And in this theorem, the two chords are given as congruent and you have to prove that the corresponding arcs are congruent. So it is nothing but the converse of the previous theorem. Now to prove this theorem, we have to do some construction. What we will do? We will draw segment OP, segment OQ, segment OS and segment OR. Now with this construction, we got here two triangles. So what we will do here now? We will show that these two triangles are congruent. Now let's start with the proof. In triangle POQ and triangle SOR, side OP is congruent to side OS, side OQ is congruent to side OR. What reason you will write here? Radii of the same circle. Then you can see that chord PQ is congruent to chord RS, that is given to us. Therefore, we can say that triangle POQ is congruent to triangle SOR. By which test? Side, side, side test. Because we have shown that the three sides of one triangle are equal to the corresponding three sides of the other triangle. Now the remaining parts will be also congruent because of these two triangles are congruent. So angle POQ is congruent to angle SOR. The reason you will write as corresponding angles of congruent triangles. Write this equation as equation 1. Now this angle POQ and angle SOR, these two are central angles of this circle. So we know that the measure of minor arc is always equal to the corresponding central angles. So here this arc PMQ, what is the corresponding central angle of this arc? Angle POQ. And if you consider this angle SNR, what is the corresponding central angle for this? Angle ROS or SOR. So we can write here major arc PMQ is equal to angle POQ. Write this equation as equation 2. And major arc RNS is equal to angle SOR. Write this equation as equation 3. Now if you observe equation 1, 2 and 3, what we can say? We can say that major arc PMQ is equal to major arc RNS, because these two angles are equal. So these two arcs will be also equal. Therefore, we have proved that arc PMQ is equal or congruent to arc RNS. Hence, we have proved this theorem. I hope you all have understood these two theorems. These are very important theorems. Now let's try to solve some problems from practice set 3.3. Now first problem we have solved in the previous session. Now the remaining two we will solve in this session. See the second question. In figure, triangle QRS is an equilateral triangle. Prove that first part, arc RS is congruent to arc QS is congruent to arc QR, and second part we have to prove as major arc QRS is equal to 240 degree. This is the diagram given for this question. Now what is given to us? Triangle QRS is an equilateral triangle. Now what is the meaning of equilateral triangle? That means all the three sides of this triangle are congruent. Therefore, chord RS is congruent to chord QS is congruent to chord QR. Reason you will write as sides of an equilateral triangle are equal. Therefore, major arc RS is congruent to major arc QS is congruent to major arc QR. That we have seen that if the chords are congruent, their measures will be also congruent. Write the equation as equation 1. And reason you will write as corresponding arcs of congruent chords of a circle are congruent. Now, if you see this, these arcs, arc RS, arc QS and arc QR. If you add these arcs, you will get a complete circle, and we know that the measure of a complete circle is 360 degree. So let's add these measure of arcs. Measure arc RS plus measure arc QS plus measure arc QR is equal to 360 degree. Reason, the statement you will write here. Therefore, measure arc RS. Now we have seen that all these three arcs are congruent. So instead of QS and QR, we can write measure arc RS. So you will get here 3 into measure arc RS is equal to 360 degree. Shift this 3 to the right hand side, you will get measure arc RS is equal to 120 degree. Now, measure arc RS is equal to measure arc QR, that is equal to 120 degree. Hence, measure arc QRS is equal to, but we have seen that in the figure that measure arc, this arc QRS, this arc, how we can find? If you add QR plus RS, then you will get this measure arc QRS. So that way we have to write here measure arc QRS is equal to measure arc QR plus measure arc RS. Therefore, measure arc QRS is equal to 120 degree plus 120 degree. That is equal to 240 degree. Hence, we got the measure arc at QRS as 240 degree. So let's move on to the next question. In figure, chord AB is congruent to chord CD. Prove that arc AC is congruent to arc BD. Now what is given to us? Chord AB is congruent to chord CD. Now two congruent chords are given to us. Therefore, arc ACB is congruent to arc CBD. Now here if you observe, if you say that chord AB, then what is the corresponding arc for chord AB? That is arc ACB. And what is the corresponding arc for chord CD? That is CBD. So if the chords are congruent, then the corresponding arcs will be also congruent. Just now we have seen the theorem. So that we will write here reason, arcs corresponding to congruent chords. Therefore, measure arc ACB is equal to measure arc CBD. Write this equation as equation 1. But measure arc ACB is equal to measure arc AC plus measure arc CB. We know that measure arc ACB is equal to measure arc AC plus measure arc BC. Write this equation as equation 2. And measure arc CBD, how you can find out? Measure arc CBD is equal to measure arc CB plus measure arc BD. Write this equation as equation 3. So from equation 1, 2 and 3, what we can write? Measure arc AC plus measure arc CB is equal to measure arc CB plus measure arc BD. Why? Because measure arc ACB is equal to measure arc CBD. So their right hand side will be also equal. So that these two equations we can write equal. Now if you observe here, this measure arc CB and this measure arc CB, they are common for both sides. So we can cancel them. So what are the remaining parts here? Measure arc AC is congruent to measure arc BD. That is nothing but arc AC is congruent to arc BD. Hence we have proved. Now let's move on to the last part of this session, that is assignment. Here one question I have given you. In figure, chord PQ is congruent to chord RS, and you have to prove that arc RP is congruent to arc SQ. Now this is the very simple question just now we have solved. So this is the similar question. You can solve this. So thanks for watching this video. I hope you all have understood this clearly. So see you in the next video.